Sonic Racing Crossworlds is here, and has been, on all fronts, a complete resounding success. A couple of days prior to its release, I made a video looking at all of Sonic's past racing games. Now that the newest entry is here, and now that I've spent a considerable amount of time with the game, I figured I'd do a quick follow-up video to help you decide if Sonic Racing Crossworlds is right for you, or for the crazed Sonic fan in your life. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is Sonic Team's newest effort in the racing genre, following up on Sumo Digital's Team Sonic Racing in 2019. Up front, perhaps the most contentious part of the game is its price point at $70, and the Digital Deluxe Edition coming in at $90. That sounds like a lot, in part because it is, but the Digital Deluxe Edition includes the game's Season Pass, giving you access to the game's paid DLC, such as the Minecraft and SpongeBob DLC packs. There's more DLC in the future, such as Mega Man and Proto Man, Avatar: The Last Airbender and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and so on. There's more DLC in the future, such as Mega Man and Proto Man, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and so on. On top of this, there's plenty of free DLC in the pipeline. We already have Joker from Persona 5, Ichiban Kasuga from Like a Dragon, and others that, as of writing, have yet to be revealed. There's a lot in the way of content in just the base roster alone, featuring the ones you'd expect like Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Rose, Team Chaotix, and Metal Sonic, and joining us is Sage from Sonic Frontiers, the Babylon Rogues returning from the Sonic Riders trilogy, Zavok and Zaz from Sonic Lost World, and Nine, Dread, and Rusty Rose from the Sonic Prime animated series. Chances are your favorite character is somewhere among those, and the sheer scope and variety alone already make it a huge improvement over Team Sonic Racing. Unlike the Riders games or Team Sonic Racing, however, there isn't a dedicated story mode. That's not to say the game has no writing at all or anything. The rival interactions are super fun, and there are a ton of cute callbacks, such as Sonic calling out to Shara from Sonic and the Secret Rings, or Blaze being afraid of heights in Sonic Rush. And honestly, maybe that's for the better. The quote-unquote stories of Free Riders and Team Sonic Racing weren't terribly impressive, and were a massive step down from even the original Sonic Riders' and Zero Gravity's, so putting more focus on the best parts of the game was definitely the right move. If you're at all familiar with contemporaries like Crash Team Racing or Mario Kart, or even Sonic's previous kart racing games, you'll be able to come to grips with how things work rather quickly. That may not be entirely a fair comparison, however, as Sonic Racing Crossworlds is a much different game than Mario Kart World. Sonic Racing is a much faster game, that much is obvious, but it's also more focused on customization, the sheer spectacle and chaos of it all. In that regard, it may be more apt to look at Sonic Racing Crossworlds as more of a driving game, more similar to something for Need for Speed than the direction the kart racing genre is heading in. It does, however, share the problem that a lot of kart racers do, where how well a race goes can feel less like pure skill and running a good race, and more up to the pure RNG of the items rolled on the course. That's not to say it's impossible to get good runs in or anything, it's just that you need luck on your side as much as pure skill. The game most certainly isn't lacking in single-player content even without a dedicated campaign. There is the Grand Prix mode, which is about what you'd expect, racing against CPU racers through 3 tracks to try and come out on top. You'll be paired off with a rival racer, and as the name implies, beating them is the main goal. The banter can be incredibly hilarious, or cute, or just have really fun callbacks. I'm normally not a huge fan of the he said the thing style writing, but in a game like this, it's fine. The focus is far more on the white-knuckle speed and racing. However, if you manage to beat all characters as rivals, you do unlock Supersonic to use in Grand Prix, who is about as broken as you'd expect, being completely invulnerable to items and stage hazards. He's so broken, in fact, that he's completely disabled in every other mode for the sake of balancing. Having a totally invincible character in an online race would completely break things after all. Time trial is fairly self-explanatory. Racing through tracks and trying to get the best times possible. It can be pretty exhilarating, learning all the shortcuts and taking hairpin turns. Getting those S ranks is incredibly difficult, however. So if you're going for those, get ready to spend a lot of time practicing. Race Park is something you can get a lot of mileage out of, especially with other racers. Instead of just a single character acting as your rival, you get a whole team as your rival. This sounds like a lot, but the payout can be insanely rewarding. You can get a huge payout in Dampa tickets or new gear to play with. Tickets are primarily used to buy more parts for your cart or extreme gear. However, they can also be used in the friendship system. It's nothing integral or anything, but it can be used to get some extra things, like titles themed around your favorite character, or decals, or perhaps the coolest thing, the AI skins. They can look incredibly cool, and part of me wishes that we could have seen a Supersonic one, since there are unused rival animations for him. One thing I definitely advise playing with is the plates. They don't seem like much at first blush, but they can wildly tip the scales in the right hand. They'll push or pull certain attributes in certain directions, like performing air tricks faster, recovering from items quicker, or so on. They won't radically change the game or anything, but they can and will complement your playstyle super well. Play more defensively? Got you covered. Prefer to style everyone from start to finish? You can do that too. You're bound to find something that works for you super fast, so it's well worth experimenting with. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is an incredibly content-rich game, with perhaps the most diverse set of tracks of any Sonic Racing game yet. Some are carried over from Team Sonic Racing, but most are completely original. It took me a while to get into the music, but spending more time with it, a lot of it is pretty good. A lot of it I'm still not feeling, but thankfully there's plenty of unlockable tracks that can be used. I do wish it was more like Sonic Generations, where you could set individual songs for individual tracks or laps, but songs like Take Over from Persona 5 Royal or Free from Sonic Freeriders kicking in for the final lap does get my blood pumping like nothing else. If the game ended there, I would say the game is already worth checking out, but there's still a lot more to see. Depending on the kind of player you are, the online component of Sonic Racing Crossworlds is maybe where you'll get the most playtime. Either in world matches or friend matches, it's far more active than Team Sonic Racing ever was. It's sort of like your regular Grand Prix matches, but randomized between 3 tracks and a randomized crossworld in the middle. The crossworlds can range anywhere from another main track to an exclusive one, such as White Cave from Sonic Riders, Dinosaur Jungle from Sonic and the Secret Rings, or Dragon Road from Sonic Unleashed. And honestly, they're a blast. It's less fun when the RNG of the items completely demolishes you, but this is the most dynamic a Sonic Racer has been in over a decade. The festivals help a lot too. Periodically, world matches will be replaced with festivals, usually themed around the newest character added to the roster. They're like normal races, but with special modifiers to encourage racing as a team. It can make it either incredibly satisfying when your unit plays really well, or beyond frustrating when you lose by the skin of your teeth, or worse, your team just straight up sucks and doesn't play the objective. And they usually don't last a super long time, so it won't be long until it's back to the regular world matches if festivals aren't your thing. But they're also a great way to get more items and Donpa tickets, so they're at the very least worth checking out. But therein lies the rub. Is the game worth the $70 base asking price? Is this game worth a $90 minimum for everything? It's hard to say. Prices in games have been going up, sometimes to insane degrees, especially with increased monetization in the forms of things like the aforementioned Season Pass. I like Sonic Racing Crossworlds. I like it a lot even. I may go so far as to call it my second or third favorite Sonic racer behind Riders and Zero Gravity, but $70 is a lot of money. If you can get it at a discount, I'd say it's absolutely worth it. At full price, I become a little less confident in that recommendation. I'm sure there will be, and there are, people who paid full price who are getting more than every last cent out of their purchase. And that's fantastic, but worth, as far as price goes, is incredibly subjective. I got the digital deluxe edition from Planet Play thanks to Wario64 for about $70, the base game being discounted to $60. To be honest, that's probably the absolute most I'd be willing to pay for the game, but don't take that as a mark against the game itself. Money is just tight and games are increasingly asking for more and more of it. Sonic Racing Crossroads itself isn't alone in that regard, and maybe isn't even the worst of it. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is yet another win in what's been looking like a comeback for the little blue guy, and I find myself very satisfied with my purchase. If you liked any of Sonic's previous racers, or are just looking for an exhilarating way to burn rubber, Sonic Racing Crossworlds is well worth checking out. Hey everyone, Saturn here. The year is coming to a close, and it's been a long one to say the least. I have at least one more video in the pipeline I want to get out before the year closes, and it's one I'm pretty excited about, so I hope you'll stay tuned for that. If you liked the video, consider leaving a like and a comment letting me know your thoughts down below. If you want to see more videos like this video, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell to be notified of all future uploads. If you want to support the show even further, I have a Ko-fi page where donations go as little as $1. It's just a tip jar for the time being, but I'm working on some exclusive stuff that will only be posted there, so keep an eye on that. If you can't donate or just don't want to, that's fine, I get it. Things are tough right now for everyone, and they're only getting tougher. Regardless of all that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again.